Last week, Lincoln Larson would survive Imola to win his 4th race of the season and hold a commanding 15-point lead over Dylan Gonas. While some drama in GT3 shakes up the podium battle, Austin Diltz holds on to first with a 5-point lead over Edgar Ruiz, and there's a 3-way tie for third involving Oquendo, McLuhan, and Allen. With a night race this evening, the drama's only bound to continue. We go racing in the dark for round 6 of the OSRL GT Series next. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Opened in 1970, this FIA Grade 2 circuit is recognized as one of the world's best road courses. Featuring 12 turns, 8 to the right and 4 to the left, this absolute roller coaster of a road course should present plenty of action this evening. Drivers will need to navigate the handful of blind crests here, which should prove to be a tall task indeed. The format for OSRL GT Series is as follows. The drivers are currently running a 3-lap solo qualifying session. Well, not currently, but they will be soon, sorry. A little bit of a format change. This is a rule midway through the season, but they will be running a 3-lap solo qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute race tonight. The 4th season of OSRL GT Series continues live on the Automotive Sports Network with Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and Cody Erdmann next to me in the commentary box. My name is Justin Robichaud as we welcome you to virtual Brasselton, Georgia. Cameras for tonight's broadcast are brought to you by Whiplash SimCams, our fantastic drone cameras, and all of our footage tonight is brought to you by them. Visit facebook.com/whiplashcams. And your coverage for OSRL, Whiplash Media, my bad. Our coverage for OSRL on ASN is brought to you by NordVPN. NordVPN, your gateway to online freedom and security. Protect your digital privacy with military-grade encryption. Browse the web anonymously and access your favorite content from anywhere in the world. Receive 60% off a 2-year plan with 3 months free at nordvpn.com/ASN TV USA. Cody, we have a night race at Road Atlanta. I think we're all wondering the same thing. First, how are you? And how do you think the GTP cars are going to fare tonight in the dark?
Yeah, I'm doing great here. As we're playing in the dark at Road Atlanta, so it ought to be entertaining. First race we've had to turn on the headlights for in the series. So yeah, really looking forward to it. We are actually missing our point leader in Lincoln Larson. I've not seen him show up to the track yet, so I wonder if he's going to be using his drop week here. So yeah, we're looking at 6 GTP cars at the moment and a good stack of 29 GT3 cars.
Oh wow, a good healthy field of GT3 cars here tonight. Not surprised to see the GTP cars a little bit lower in count. This would be, in my opinion, an awful track to make passes on through traffic in the daytime, let alone at the night. We've got some lights here. They do cover some corners, some apexes, but some of these corners here are blind crests over hills. An incredible course as it is, but in the nighttime, this will prove to be a little bit difficult for our drivers tonight. But coming into round 6, our GTP drivers, Lincoln Larson sits atop the GTP with 155 points over a 140 from Dylan Gonas. So a solid 15-point lead, as we mentioned here, for Lincoln Larson, as he is not here tonight. But that drop week may come into play. Could be an excellent opportunity for him to just ditch a bad week. And this may be a great choice for him, as Justin Gibbs sits 8 points behind Dylan Gonas in 3rd at 132. Fozzie Fazzolo in 4th, Maverick McKenna rounding out the top 5. And in GT3, as mentioned again, Austin Diltz with a 5-point lead over Edgar Ruiz. But it's a 3-way battle between Oquendo and McLuhan, sitting at Corey Allen, sitting at 126 points each. 120. Actually, we're tied for 6th there, for 4th as well at 120 between Luke Kledzik and Dylan Clark. So plenty of excellent battles going on here tonight. GT3, has been so dramatic all season. The battles have been fantastic. Very quickly, we'll go over some programming notes. TWRsetups.com NASA Rallycross Lights Round 4 is April 4th at Barcelona at 9 p.m. Eastern. You're going to have Victor Valley, James Watson, and Jared Lott for that one. And the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge on Round 4 is April 15th. Also, actually, it's not at Barcelona. It's at Atlanta Short. My bad. Those are at Atlanta. And it's actually, are they doing open qualifying again? It's a 15-minute 3-lap qualifying, so maybe they'll send this a bit sooner, but we'll finish this off here. You'll have Bryan, Sawyer, Josh Mertz, and myself for the NASA Rallycross Challenge on April 15th, but the OSRL GT Round 5 at Le Mans will be April 15th. You're going to have that one. Bryan, Sawyer, and Cody, Erdmann, and Josh Mertz for that one. I will not be here next week. I may be in the car, so you might find me in a BMW racing around Le Mans. Weather forecast looking pretty interesting for that one. So it's going to be a fantastic week of OSRL racing as we have some drivers come out here. Cody for qualifying. 3 laps, solo session. This is the first time this season. Should be a little interesting for the drivers, but I think many of them will agree that this might be the best choice, Cody, as opposed to open.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot cleaner. Everyone's going to be able to get their best lap and not have to deal with traffic. So you can kind of, and with the 15 minutes, you can take your time. If you mess up, you can kind of reset and go back at it and just whatever lap you're on. So definitely, we got most of the field on track. They're going down the back straightaway right now, coming into 10 as I see. So definitely, we're waiting. Most of the field's going to get their green for the first lap here. So we're going to kind of wait and see on what everyone's going to do. We're looking forward to, I think we bumped up to 30 GT3 cars. So real late entry for, I believe, Omar. And and we are on the GT3 side. I'm trying to. You mentioned a name, and I was looking through. Oquendo. We are missing Oquendo tonight too. So.
Oh wow.
Or a couple of our top drivers in each class we're missing tonight.
That's actually surprising. Oquendo had really a bad week last week at Imola. Hard to say if there's a little bit of animosity sitting there or if he just couldn't make this week. So 2 weeks in a row for Oquendo, where points will hurt as Dylan Gonas looks to be on a pretty decent little lap here. I'm watching. I think he's our first or our lead car at the moment as we're watching Deegan Urquidez here. We switched to Dylan Gonas. He is, this is the right move. I think he's on our flyer. He may be one of our first laps. Dan Corrido setting a 36.2, but that might be an out lap here. One of our clean out laps. Lots of clean out laps coming out, actually. As Dylan Gonas rounding the final couple corners here. Setting probably our time of the evening. A 109.038 for Dylan Gonas. He jumps the top. The fastest lap here in the evening. As Edgar Ruiz hops in second place with a 119.235. He's our top in the GT3 class at the moment. Lots of times coming in here right now, Cody.
Yeah, just kind of give an update of where everyone was at in practice. Hector was fastest in practice for GTP at 107.4, and then Parker Dweem was fastest in GT3 with a 119.1. So really good lap time there by Edgar, as Hector again throws in a 107.1, so everyone's starting to really pick it up here in qualifying.
It is. We've got quite a few laps up on the board now. Edgar Ruiz still holding the top in GT3 with a 119.235. It's Hector Colazzo now with a 107.185, though, holding the lead position in GTP. Dylan Gonas now dropping 2 seconds behind, so we'll see in our second lap if Dylan can bring anything back to the table. Justin Gibbs sits himself in third place of 109.787. And it's Fozzie Fazzillo dropping to 4th in GTP. Austin Diltz holding a second spot here just by 1/100th of a second with a 119.248. Just narrowly behind Ruiz here. Looks like it's going to be a fantastic battle between Ruiz, Diltz, and Johnson sneaking into the third position with a 119.544 here. As still, many of our drivers just on their second lap as Dylan coming out of the pits on his third, Cody. We're on with Nick Johnson, who's sitting in third.
As Edgar Ruiz said, reset fast time in GT3 with a 19.0. So see if anyone can bust into the 18-second bracket for GT3s. And Hector with a 107.0 for GTP. So we're looking to jump into new territory for qualifying here. As
Yeah,
we got two
Palazzo
cars
looks,
actually in GT3 now. Jace Martin,
Oh.
Austin Diltz in the 18.9s.
Look at that, Austin Diltz taking away pole position with a 1:18.907, a fantastic time. And Jay Smart just narrowly behind with a 1:18.929. Those are our two drivers in the 118 range at the moment. Chris Wilkie makes a giant leap into fourth just now with a 119.196. Lots of drivers here in the 119 area. I'm counting right to 12th, and GT3 is 119. Sorry, 13th now as Dan Carrito makes a leap to 5th place with a 119.479. Fantastic jump. Dan Carrito, one driver I had the pleasure of seeing some practice times with. Very quick driver, seems to have it all put together here at the night track, and doing very good. We'll see what he has. He looks like he's on his final lap of the evening, Cody, as Austin Dill's still sitting in pole position.
Yeah, good shot, a good run here for Dan. He's kind of I would say a little bit struggled for what we know he's able to do over in the rallycross portion of things, but he's been a top 10 car on some of his better weeks here. So looking forward to see if we can get a really good start here. Maybe jump into the top 5.
Absolutely, several drivers here. They look like they're on their final couple laps here. Lots more time starting to come in. Still Austin Diltz atop the GT3 cars, with Hector Colazzo and Dylan Gonas leading the top 2 in GTP, Fozzie Fazzillo in 3rd. Our top 3 in GT3 looks like Parker Dime makes a launch into 3rd position with a 119.975 or 118.975. He's our 3rd driver in the 118s tonight. That's a fantastic jump, and it looks like, wow, Jordan Martin Boisvert with a 107.757. Sorry, wow, lots of sevens. That's 1/10 behind Hector Colazzo. That's a fantastic little battle there. They're the only 2 in the GTP class in 107. As we watch, I'm watching Sean Lanning at the moment, but most of our drivers finishing up their last lap. Sorry, Boisvert with a fantastic 107, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Drops Dylan Gonas to 3rd position as Parker Dime drops off the track. We have a few drivers out there. Looks like they're just getting in practice laps or maybe warm-up laps for the evening. We have 4 drivers at the moment without a time in Kirtley, Valley, and Ortiz. Ortiz actually, as I said his name, puts in a 121.797, drops in 23rd position in class. That will be 29th overall. Fantastic running from all in. And Jordan Boisvert with a 107.069 to pole position by 1/100th of a second. Fantastic run here on his final lap as he parks it. And that will be a fantastic showing from Jordan Boisvert. And a great showing against Hector Colazzo. Hector Colazzo last week in Imola showing some excellent driving by going off the track, maybe making a little bit of an incident, but an exciting race as looks like we have maybe Donnie Heineman out on the track. No, sorry, Donnie is parked. We have Louis Ortiz. Very few drivers left at the moment, Cody, as I think we're probably going to see. I don't think there's going to be too many position changes at this point. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, there's only a couple cars on track that I think have a couple laps left. Victor Valley, our other producer, decided to hop in a ASN
Hopped in a little bit late.
Porsche, and yeah, he's still on lap 1. So, and we still got a handful of minutes here, so he can definitely put in a couple good laps here. So, I think he was just kind of waiting to see where the lap times shake out. Other than that,
Yeah.
looks like everyone. Luis Ortiz, I believe, is on his final lap of qualifying. Omar is on his final lap, so just a couple guys with a handful of laps left.
And Victor Valley was actually chatting with us before the broadcast. He's still feeling pretty good tonight. Said he was running some 119, so there's a possibility we see him drop into the top 10 here, Cody. So we'll watch this flying lap, as he seems to be one of our few drivers out on the track at the moment. Chris Wilkie, Austin Diltz still just kind of sitting in pits. Yeah, he's really the only one on a flyer at the moment, Cody, and looking pretty good at the moment. Trying to get on board with him. Running down the straightaway, he's entering the final couple corners here as we go on board with Victor Valley in the Porsche.
Yeah, down through the left and right of turn 10, and then
And
a
A
little
and
bit up the hill, and
10B.
then back down into the final 2 corners.
Yeah, one of the few blind crests in this track. He's rounding the final the final corner here as we see that's a 119. Oh, I missed him here. He's a 119.993. That's good enough for 16 in class. As he rounds the first corner for his final lap, we'll continue on with Victor Valley. These S's here, very, very crucial. And another a couple corners and a chicane that comes in blind. This corner here as well. Another one you can't really see. You have to guess your apex almost in a way. You really need to know where you're going as we dive into the S's. Another good little straightaway. And these couple corners here I found a little bit tricky. You want to enter this one pretty slow, a lot slower than you might think. Carry a little bit of speed to the outside, but it's a very hard right-hander. And this one caught me off guard many times in practice, driving off the track into the grass. I did earlier this week. As we run on here, Victor Valley should be one of the last of our drivers here tonight to post up a time. Sean Lanning is still on the track from what I see as well. So Sean Lanning's still out there. He's saying 29th in class, 35th overall. But Victor Valley over one of the final blind crests here. A downhill right-hander into the last corner. We'll see what he posts. And it's not better than what it was. He does not improve. It is a 119.959 for Victor Valley and 16th overall. I believe this is beginning to round out our qualifying session. We've got about 4 minutes left, it looks like. 3.5 minutes left. And Sean Lanning, I believe, is the only other driver out at the moment. And he's having a bit of an issue. Pulls into pits. This is a wild one. I'm not too shocked to see Austin Diltz ahead, just based on practice times I've seen, Cody. But this is a great little field here, and I'm very excited to see what these drivers have. We've got our aerial shot here, pretty dark. So this is going to be a fun night.
Yeah, as we got, I would say our usual competitors up in the top 4 of the GT3 class with Dilt, Smarts, Dueman, Ruiz, and then Wilkie and Brovsky, which we saw Trevor last week, but definitely a lot better qualifying here up at a P6, and then Dan Carrito. So, like I said, top 4 kind of our usual competitors, our championship contenders, and then kind of the rest of the field. I'm glad to see we have some new fresh blood up there. And then Jordan and Hector, they're looking really good with Gonaz P3, but as we've seen in the GTP class, it's all about trying to get through that traffic. We saw Lincoln qualify P5 last week and end up winning. So as long as you can get through the traffic cleanly, especially here in the dark, and kind of watch the whole speed differential gap and take your time, and who knows, you can end up on the podium or even on top of it.
No kidding. And Jordan Boisvert must feel great at top overall, but yeah, like you said, all season long, it's really been about traffic management, and sitting on top in GTP is never set in stone. It can really depend on if you get good management through there, if you can use the traffic to your advantage. We've seen some drivers already this season use traffic almost as pick blocks and make some moves through there. So this will be a track we'll expect to see some of that tonight. Not very many passing opportunities, very dark, a few blind corners to manage. I'm excited to see if patience is really going to play a factor as much as I think it's going to. I know I've said that a few times already, but GTP drivers executing patience is really going to be pivotal, especially in a track like this at night, no less, with very, very minimal track lighting. I know we do have some lights out there, but they don't light up as much as you might think. Some of these drivers really struggling to see those apexes. So we'll be looking at that tonight. I think our S's and that first sector in this track is going to be quite interesting to watch, Cody.
Yeah, it should be definitely interesting. I would say these S's are probably the most tricky we'll probably see all season. Kind of similar to like Sonoma or Silverstone, but just with the elevation changes through it all, and like how tight some of them are compared to like Sonoma. I honestly think these are probably some of the toughest S's that we'll see on the whole circuit, on the whole season.
Oh, I agree. And not only that, just the tight nature of the course. There are some straightaways where the GTP drivers will be able to let loose, but patience in those S's and some of these blind corners, no less. There's been some issues already where drivers have been checked up, and we'll see how that plays tonight. Our starting grid for the evening. Jordan Martin Boisvert sits atop the GTP class ahead of Hector Colazzo, Dylan Gonas, Fossey Fazillo, Maverick McKenna, Justin Gibbs, and that is our 6 GTP drivers for the evening. In GT3, atop of them is Austin Diltz in the front row with Jay Smart, Parker Dime and Edgar Ruiz, Chris Wilkie, Trevor Vorovsky, Dan Corrido, Rob Ferretti, Corey Allen, Nick Johnson. And then we move on to Morgan Smith, Luke Kledzik, Juan Chirakenna, Deegan Urquides, Ethan Halsey, Victor Valley, Ewan Gonzalez, Jack Clark. And moving down the list, we have Dylan Clark, Lucas Kasumi, Donnie Heineman, Omar Acevedo, Jeffrey Seymour, Nick Vincent, Louis Ortiz, Robert Hadley, Tyler Rush, Mitchell Dreyer, Sean Lanning, and the final driver of the evening, Robbie Kirtley. Very nice to see you here, Robbie. It's great to see you joining us in the OSRL action. That's a driver from our NASA Rallycross series. As we should be getting ready here soon. We're just waiting on some drivers, about 5 or 6 from my count, and then we should be ready to go. Some programming notes for you this evening. Again, TWRsetups.com NASA Rallycross Lights Round 4 will be April 14th at Atlanta. That'll be 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Victor Valley, James Watson, and Jaron Lott for that one. And then on Monday night, the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, April 15th at Atlanta as well, will be at 8 p.m. Eastern. You'll have Bryan Sawyer, Josh Mertz, and myself, Justin Robichaud, for that one. And then OSRL GT Round 7 at April 18th at Le Mans, 8:30 Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdmann, and Josh Mertz for that one. I should be in the car. We'll see you then. It will be a fantastic time. Weather's not looking very nice. So if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network and follow our content on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. And remember, our cameras for the broadcast, for tonight's broadcast, are brought to you by Whiplash Tim Cams. We are away and away. Drivers swaying back and forth to warm up the tires as we get it underway. This is going to be a very, very long, a long run lap, I think. But we are going to be underway very shortly. Cody, prediction tonight. Do you think these GTP drivers are going to have a big shakeup? Do you think it's going to be someone from the back that's going to take it?
I honestly, yeah, I think Gonaz is sitting probably in the best spot with Lincoln not being here. He could definitely be on it, to me, at least from what we've been here so far this season. He seems like the seasoned veteran now compared to where we started off in the season. He definitely showed up really well at Hockenheim. And then I think tonight he wants to capitalize, like I said, with Lincoln not being here. So I could see him really trying to run a clean, smooth race, navigate through traffic cleanly as possible, kind of let the other two make mistakes. The other two really, they've only, Jordan was here last week. I'm not sure about Hector. I can't remember. So,
Hector, I believe, won last week, actually, if I'm not mistaken. He ran a very good race through Imola.
No, Lincoln did, remember?
Lincoln did. You're right. Lincoln's won for a while. But Hector did do very good last week regardless.
Okay. Yeah,
even if he did get into the incident. So, yeah, this is a great little field. These top three, Boisvert has really proven to us that he's a contender here in this GTP series, especially with this night track. So, I too am excited to see if they run off with it, what this GTP class or GT3 class will give us tonight. The battles there in the top 10 have been so excellent as they start to sway the cars back and forth and get those tires warmed up. We're rounding the getting into one of the chicanes here. We're almost there. Very anxious to get it going. It must be a long wait for these drivers here. The final chicane, 10A and 10B, turn 11 over a blind crest. And our safety car will dive off and leave us for round 6 of the OSRL GT series. As we run it away, Boisvert takes a good start on Hector Colazzo, but Colazzo is very, very close behind those two, checking out just a small amount. It's side by side between Fazzillo and McKenna. McKenna takes the position over Fazzillo here, but it is Boisvert's race as he checks out in the lead, and it's single file for GTP. Austin Dilt's off to a commanding lead over Jay Smart, but it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a train here all the way in GT3, way back. These drivers not leaving any room for anyone. There is not much going on as it's side by side here. Dylan Gonas makes a huge move up on the inside for Maverick Vakenis in the last corner. There's a little bit of contact. They're touching, and this leaves the door wide open for Fozzie, who takes the inside and runs in third. He's going to take Dylan Gonas, Maverick McKenna, Justin Gibbs here just in tow. Files in behind. This slipstream super important as we round 10A and 10B. And there's a little bit of a battle between Boisvert and Colazzo. Colazzo's riding the bumper of Boisvert here and for first and second, with this battle for third. Very spicy. And it is between Fazzillo, Gonas, and McKenna. McKenna very close to Gonas here coming into turn 1. Gonas holding a great line. We go on board with McKenna at the moment as we come through. The S is a very pivotal section. All of these drivers very, very close to one another. This battle here slowly starting to fizzle out, but McKenna is holding on for dear life on Gonas. As GT3, we're not missing a whole lot. Luke Kledzik making a move up the inside on 1-3-1. Rakenna in the S's. There's a bit of contact, and he turns Rakenna. Rakenna's backwards in the middle of the track. He's just coasting backwards, trying not to cause an incident. Unfortunate move. He tries to get back in. He does, Cody, and he files in pretty safely here, as it seems to be our first incident of the night.
Actually, unfortunately, it is our second.
Oh,
Dan,
no.
yeah. Unfortunately, Dan Carrito coming right over the hill here where Raquena is. Unfortunately, got a little bit crossed up and then just got turned around right into the barrier. Oh, but we have another car off here. Sean Lanning. But yeah, unfortunately, Dan backed his Ferrari into the wall and pretty much destroyed it. So, really rough start for what was looking to be a promising night there for Dan.
And I did not see that. Thank you for catching me up, Cody, as I'm just I'm paying attention right now to Hector Colazzo is coming up on some lap traffic now. It's Hune Gonzalez. There seems to be some cars with some issues. But right now, Hector Colazzo holding the P1 position in GTP. Looks like he seemed to have gotten past Boisvert. I think we missed that incident while we were catching up. Lap traffic already becoming an issue here. I guess it's not necessarily lap traffic. It may be someone with an issue. It's Hune Gonzalez here as Justin Gibbs makes his pass, sitting in third place. Fourth overall, behind Fazzillo. Colazzo, Boisvert really battling at the moment for first. They are just narrowly half a tenth behind one another as they come through turn number 1. Great little showing here. Boisvert holding on so hard to Colazzo. Colazzo proven to be a very quick driver. Imola, super strong performance. As there are a lot of battles throughout the field here, Cody. I'm having a hard time picking. Actually, there's a lot of drivers seem to be just in a straight line. Sean Lenning letting a couple GTP drivers by here on the final straight. But yeah, it's the battle for first with 3 tenths between Colazzo and Boisvert. That's what we're keeping our eye on at the moment.
Yeah, to give a little bit of an update though for GT3, we have a new leader with Jay Smart took over the lead, and Delta slid back to third. So I was kind of like looking up at the GTP field, and all of a sudden I kind of looked back to the GT3, and all of a sudden Delta was 2 positions lower. I'm like, unfortunately, I can't see exactly what happened, but yeah, Jay Smart up to P1 in his Ferrari. And then Trevor Vorosky, he's P2 in his Lamborghini, trying to run down Jay as well.
Yeah, he's right behind Jay. Actually, now that we mention it, Austin Dilt's falling just a little bit behind, 1.1 seconds there. Parker Dime just about a second behind his teammate. all of the WBM drivers working very hard to keep all of their teammates nice and quick. Great to see them out on the track. I did get some laps in with them. Fantastic group of guys, and very great to one another, and happy to be a part of the chats there, as Trevor Vavrovsky is really making a run on J Smart here. He's just a couple tenths back. We'll keep an eye on this battle. This seems to be one of our closest for position at the moment. Vavrovsky trying to make something happen in his Lamborghini on J Smart in the Ferrari, I believe. Yes, in the Ferrari. A couple cars that great in the corners. A lot of drivers are talking about how quick that BMW is on the straightaways, though, Cody.
Yeah, it's definitely a really rough kind of section here. With the BMW being able to run down that straightaway, it's super hard to kind of keep up with it. But I don't believe it's as good through the S's, so if you can maintain through the S's, then you're good down the straightaway.
Oh, I'm watching Hedrick Colazzo goes around. He does a double 360 in the first corner. It ends up in the dirt. Manages not to hit the wall, but that is a huge mistake for Hector in turn 1, and I watched it happen live. It was no fault of his own except blocking up. Call that a self-spin, if you will. Jordan Boisvert now takes first place as he comes up on some lap traffic here. Seems to hit it with ease. Passes Luby Ortiz. Now he's coming up on Edgar Ruiz here through the final couple corners. And we're on board here with Boisvert as he holds a commanding 3.3 second lead over Fozzie Fazillo. Barring any traffic issues, this may be his race to lose, Cody.
Absolutely. Now that our GTP leader is getting through the heavy part of the GT3 traffic, so let's see what they can do here. Is most of the GT3 fields are kind of broken apart a little bit, about like 2 to 4 car trains if there's anything, so shouldn't be too difficult, unlike what we see at some of the tracks so far. But so far, honestly, I do have to give credit though for the GT3 field for as many cars as we have. That was like the cleanest start ever.
Absolutely a very clean start. We had very minimal issues, as the biggest battle I'm seeing at the moment, if we're talking about battles, is definitely being between Colazzo and McKenna as they round through traffic here. Colazzo running up turn 1 with McKenna just in tow. He gets a little bit of a good run. I eat my own words a little bit as they hit traffic, but traffic coming into play again here as Colazzo gets checked up a little bit. McKenna running in just behind. There is a lot of traffic here, and if I'm not mistaken, that's Justin Gibbs up ahead here in the S's as well, as Colazzo just jumps in behind him. They passed 3 GT3 cars, and there's about 4 or 5 more coming into the final couple quarters. This could be an excellent battle here between the 3 of them. Justin Gibbs goes up the inside. Colazzo takes it, but this opens the door. McKenna comes in as well and passes Gibbs, and this drops Gibbs to 5th. We've got a 3-way battle here for 3rd as they come into more lap traffic on the top, and this is going to be very, very difficult to navigate, Cody, as we come through. It looks like they're just coming upon trains of GT3 cars, as this field for GT3s is very spread out. Justin Gibbs trying to make the move up the inside on McKenna. He does. He goes up the inside, but backs off a little bit. McKenna takes the brakes on the outside, makes that corner, but Colazzo has to check up to a GT3 in the final couple corners in turn 11. This opens the door a little bit for McKenna, but McKenna just riding on straight through the final straightaway. They go through turn 1, and it is still Colazzo leading this. Has to check up a little bit. McKenna has to go on the outside of GT3 traffic, but still manages to keep that gap nice and clean at 2/10. The S is such a tricky section here, and more traffic. McKenna has to make a decision. He goes to the outside, takes that inside line. A great little cut, but goes super wide and ends up on the grass. And this could be a slowdown. It is a slowdown, and he's going to have to check up here hard to get rid of this, Cody, as Justin Gibbs must be... Oh, he doesn't even know yet. McKenna hasn't even decided to take the slowdown. He has to soon. He's trying to take it in the line, Cody. Gibbs, he's poised to make a move here if McKenna can't get rid of this.
Yes, I don't know if he does, because McKenna's just so rolling.
It's gone.
Yeah, I think he already took care of it.
Fantastic. He uses GTP traffic to slow himself down. Fantastic move. Gibbs dives down in front of Ethan Halsey here to maintain some position and not lose too much ground. Colazzo having to go around a GT3 car in the final corner. This is fantastic. McKenna. Wow, it's already too wide between Johnson and Corey Allen, and McKenna makes a move on the outside on turn 1 to get by them cleanly. This is an incredible battle here in the GTP class. Sawyer just checked out on his own race, 8 seconds ahead of Fozzie Fazzillo in second, but this battle here for third and fourth. Wow, it's fizzled out a little bit again with some more traffic coming up here. That's Morgan Smith in front, but oh my goodness, Hector Colazzo goes wide and leaves the door wide open for Maverick McKenna to make the pass here in the final couple corners. Sorry, not the final couple corners in this double apex, almost double 90 degree, but it's Maverick McKenna, sorry, Hector Colazzo with an excellent move up that run, just gets way and away past McKenna and takes this run here as McKenna is filing in behind. It seems like traffic is never ending, Cody. It's there's not a chance to even slow down here.
Well, thankfully it's going to thin out here for these guys as they just got around our leaders here of the GT3 car. So now we're going to be jumping into the stragglers as Trevor Vorovsky, he took over P1 as Jay Smart ran wide out of turn 1 and kind of ran through the chicane, off-roading it for a while. I think, to be honest, Jay should run rallycross because that car control that he had doing it was amazing. So
it's fantastic.
And Corey Allen goes around.
But Fozzie Fazzillo is about to get passed by Colazzo here. Colazzo makes an excellent charge. I don't know if Fazzillo has some issues, but he seemed to give up that position with ease to Colazzo, who jumps up in a second overall in GTP, but he has a lot of ground to make up, 12 seconds behind Sawyer, who's just checked out in his own race. I'm just looking at the battles here for GT3. Some of our closest battles at the moment seems to be between Trevor Vorovsky and Austin Diltz, but it's mostly about a second as who do we have here? I'm trying to find our closest. Things are starting to fizzle out. My deltas are starting to spread. Austin Diltz still just a few tenths behind Vorovsky for first. And this is probably the greatest battle we have. 7th overall, first in GT3. Austin Diltz, one of our most consistent, quickest drivers of the series, poised to hold on to that first position. He held it on for a little bit as we come up to, this must be lap traffic here, and Jeffrey Seymour goes wide, lets these two by. Doesn't take up too much time. Still just a few tenths behind. This is a very narrow battle. Any mistake is going to give up plenty of opportunity. Vorovsky just needs to check out and not look as we go inside Austin Diltz here. I really wish I knew what these two quarter numbers were, Cody, sorry. This is probably one of the most exciting sections of the course. 7 and 8 as Bryan comes in. I have to get my proper track map with numbers up here. But a fun section of the course, very pivotal tonight. It seems the exit of this corner has been charging people all night. This final this little chicane here. Diltz makes a charge on the brakes. Vorovsky a little bit loose. 10A and 10B. I know these ones, thankfully.
Yeah. Now that we're looking at Diltz here, a little fun fact: for GT3 we have not had a repeat winner. Each race we've had a different winner so far.
And it's not to cut you off, Cody. We've got Louis Ortiz making a move up next. Nick Vincent. This is for P15. They've just come out of PA. They're coming into 10A and 10B now. It's a very tight battle. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. As Acevedo comes up. Sorry. It's Carrito's in there as well. As it looks like Juanchi Requena moves up in there past Nick Vincent to take that position. Dan Carrito is just sitting here waiting for an opportunity as well as he goes up the inside on turn 1 on Nick Vincent. Is he going to make this happen? He'll push hard. Takes it up the inside, makes it happen. Nick Vincent just concedes the spot to the outside. Omar Acevedo just poised, waiting at the end of this battle for something to happen as they just spread out a hair. Great little moves up the inside. Fantastic and exciting battles here in GT3. I can't even get over it right now. As Dylan Clark here. Well, we've got so many battles here. Gibbs on McKenna, I'm hearing. This is a fantastic little battle here as well. Gibbs is just falling back a little bit through the S's as we come up onto some traffic. But Oh, look at this. It looks like Yun Gonzalez here for 20 seconds. He's making another, he's trying to make a move on Sean Lanning in the S's. Running really, he seems to be our closest battle here. Just 2/10 behind Sean Lanning as Yun Gonzalez as they run through just the end of the S's. Right in tow here. We're looking at 22nd in class, 28th overall is what we're looking at right now. Yun Gonzalez really pressuring the back of Sean Lanning here. I know this is not for any huge position here, but Yun Gonzalez applying a lot of pressure to Sean Lanning here, sorry. We're going to jump into this slipstream. Goes to the outside. This is going to be an outside attempt. Great move by Sean here, but Yun gets full coverage. Sean just absolutely late on the brakes. It's going to be a little bit of a crossover attempt, but excellent driving from Sean Lanning to hold that position through 10A and 10B. Yun Gonzalez, a bit more of a run through 12. He might make another move here. Excellent defensive driving from Sean as Yun makes a move up the inside and Sean just gives it up here. And Yun will drive away with this one. Fantastic pass for 27th overall, 21st in class.
Yeah, as we're
going to head up to Jay Smart here on Trevor Vavrovsky. Cody, what have you got?
Yeah, Jay's been slowly reeling. Oh, as Trevor goes around.
Oh, Trevor goes around in the S's. An easy spot to make that happen. Just doesn't get the weight transfer quite right. Spins the car out. Gives up that position to Jay Smart for sure. Parker Dime now in a position to make a move on Jay Smart. But Austin Diltz, 3 seconds ahead. That's the story this evening. He's first with Jordan Boisvert way ahead in GTP and just managing traffic. No problem. As Dylan Gonaz, Ozzy Fazilla off actually in turn one. He spins. It looks like he makes contact with the wall and gives up a ton of positions. He drops to 6th, gives up that. As really the battles in GTP now have fizzled out. Dylan Gonaz, sorry, he's just holding on to Justin Gibbs by about 8/10, but they're coming into traffic here. This could be an interesting battle if anything slows them down. Very pivotal section, both of them. I'm gonna move back to Dylan Clark here. This is 11th in class. He might be trying to make up a move up on the inside on Kledzik on 10A, and he does. He makes it easily through 10B. Right through 11, blind crest. Jack Clark, moves his way through Luke Kledzik as well. Kledzik, not sure if he's having an issue or if he's just getting some hot tires, but that's 2 positions dropped in the final sector as we finish lap 16 of 39, Cody.
Yeah, just up the road from them, just a hair of Vavrovsky went off again, but just off in the grass a little bit. Now Victor Valley is about to jump up on him. That'll be for P7, which kind of looking at who's coming and who's going. Ethan Halsley and Victor Valley, they're up 8 positions. Dylan Clark up 9. Jack Clark up 7. And then Nick Vincent and Luis Ortiz, 14th and 15th, they are up 10 positions. So some pretty big movers here.
Quite a bit of big movers here. As I try to find our closest battle here, I think it's probably Tyler Rush holding off Corey Allen for 25th overall. Tyler Rush seeing a little bit of issues here in his Lamborghini, taking a bit of a beating from Corey Allen in the BMW. But it looks like we have what else do we have here? Oh, Tyler Rush spins actually out of 20th. I was watching that one. Bozzy's in the wall for sure, broken. As we start to get some, we start to get some pits. We're getting very close to halfway point. Let's jump off for a very quick break. It's bound to get interesting.
Interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in turn one. This is going to get spicy.
Exiting turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap, clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. In the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Dragster acing the entry to turn one, up heading to the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Robbie's going to hold the spot.
And we're back, and there's been a lot of action since we've left. Vavrovsky's gone off the track, so is Jay Smart. Both of those drivers seemingly in the pits at the moment. Not sure what happened there. They've come into some issues, Cody. This is shaking things up entirely. Jay Smart's been a huge player tonight, running in podium all night long and been giving quite a bit of battles in his little Ferrari. So to see him in the pits is pretty jarring, especially Vavrovsky as well, seemingly making a charge for P2 all night. Austin Dilt's still holding a charge for the lead here, but looks like our best battles at the moment are Louis Ortiz versus Omar Acevedo. A lot of these drivers pitting at the moment, Cody. Tons of strategy coming in. Very few of them have not gone in yet.
Which actually, I just found the incident on what happened to Jay and Nick Johnson.
Ooh, give me the details. What happened?
Coming out of 6, Jay got crossed up and was trying to save it, and he did save it. Unfortunately, when he like slowed down so much, Nick coming over the blind crest just clipped his rear end and destroyed both cars. So a little bit of an incident. Nothing there. Jay was by himself. It looks like I think he clipped too much of the curbing. No curb. I think the weight transfer just got a little out from underneath him. Yeah.
The weight transfer in the S's was a huge thing when I was practicing this track for sure. You have to get it so smooth and so right, or the car will want to just knife on you. And it looks like Jack Clark makes a pass on Rob Ferretti here in turn 1 in the final couple corners. Commanding lead already after that as Nick Johnson seems to take Nick Johnson takes the lead on Austin Diltz, I was going to say, but Austin Diltz off into the pit, so this is not a true lead for Nick Johnson, who's not pitted yet, Cody.
Yeah, as Jack Clark actually just hopped on pit road, so put him on there. It looks like we have just a handful of cars left that need to pit.
Yeah, from my count, it looks like Omar Acevedo and Lucas Kasumi have not in GT3. And then it's Jordan Walbert and Hector Colazzo, Dylan Gonas, our top 3 in GTP who have not pitted yet either. So we'll want to keep an eye on that. Walbert with still a commanding 9-second lead over Hector Colazzo. Colazzo bridging that gap a little bit. It was at about 12 or 13 seconds before we went to break. Dylan Gonas, though, 39 seconds behind our leader and about 32 seconds behind our second place man, Cody. So this is a pretty stretched out battle. One of the most stretched out GTP battles we've seen as Colazzo gets a little bit loose out of 10B and into 11. He dives into the pits for his pit strategy, and this will begin that as Boisvert stays out. Dylan Gonas, I am keeping an eye slowly on him off monitor. Boisvert really stretching the tank on this, Cody. Do you think he's fuel saving at all? He must be.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was actually surprised how late these GTP drivers are going. I remember most of the GTP drivers will like almost pit first over the GT3 field, but this week is a little bit different. I'm not sure.
As Gonas dives down into the pits.
Exactly what's up with that.
Yeah. So Boisvert must have taken that huge gap that he was really enjoying out there. Maybe he gave up a little bit to Colazzo there by saving fuel. So a very interesting take tonight. Boisvert's still out there. I'm watching him around the 10B now and 11. Let's see if he dives off into pit lane. He does. So this will complete the strategy for GTP cars as Lucas Kasumi jumps down as well, and that completes everyone's strategy. All drivers have gone off at least once. And pits are seemingly done.
Yes, I don't believe Ruiz is pitted yet. I think he's the last one left in GT3.
Oh, yeah. You're correct. Good eye, Cody. So my timing screen was filled up. That's a 6.6 and a 1.4. So he has like about a 6.6. Oh, there he goes. Actually, I'm watching him right now. Edgar Ruiz drives off. So yeah, he started from the pit. So his box time counting up in there for us. So now officially all our strategies are done from our drivers this evening. Boisvert holding he's coming out of the pits now, actually, I should say. Colazzo rounding turn 11. This is going to be very close. I think Boisvert is going to keep this no problem. Absolutely. And the gap now as Boisvert starts to roll in at about 9 seconds, Cody. So from the looks of it, let me compare box times. Jordan Boisvert with a 44.3 and Hector Colazzo with a 46.5. So about a 1.2 seconds difference there in the box, and that could be the difference maker here tonight.
He has a little update in the GT3 field. Unfortunately, Rob Hadley out of 6 got a little bit crossed up, and Morgan Smith had nowhere to go, and Morgan was P6 at the time, so both cars now on the trailer, unfortunately. So a little bit of attrition here, a little bit more than we've seen normally, which I think we all... As somebody hit the wall here, let's try to figure out who.
I am trying to to find this driver as well. They may be in the pits already.
It might be
Is that
Gibbs,
Justin Gibbs? Let's take a peek here. Gibbs is off. I don't have a line on Gibbs anywhere, Cody. So Gibbs must have been our driver into the wall.
I believe it is, because all of a sudden my pit stop ticker just is at 23 seconds, and that's about 20 seconds ago.
Yeah,
So.
I'm seeing the same. So, a little bit of movement here. As an interesting battle here right now in GT3 is actually, it's almost Chris Wilkie back, I would say. Maybe even, let's say it's almost Edgar Ruiz back.
There's a freight train behind Edgar.
Victor Valley making quite the charge here on Donnie Heineman. Donnie Heineman, I think, is a driver who's down a lap and in this mix. Ethan Halsey now trying to make his way around him. Jack Clark just behind. This is an absolute train of drivers. Donnie Heineman must be, his heart must be beating in his chest at the moment. I know it is for me when I get into a mix with drivers. If I'm down a lap, not the place I want to be. He sticks himself way outside, gives this up for Ethan Halsey on the inside, files himself in. Jack Clark having to check up hard, but he pushes him out of the way. And almost playing too conservative was to his detriment, as drivers not ready for that checkup and they just push their way through. But we're side by side with Corey Allen and Luke Kledzik as Fozzie Fazilla just flies through. We go through 10A and 10B. It might be too wide. No, Corey Allen gives up the position to Luke Kledzik. Luke Kledzik takes it through the position, through there. Jack Clark just ahead. GTP drivers coming over this. I would not want to be passed by a GTP driver over these blind crests. You're already focusing so much. Great run from Luke Kledzik here into turn one on Jack Clark. We'll see what happens here as it comes out. Jack Clark, great run on the exit. Luke Kledzik giving up a little bit of time to Corey Allen. Corey Allen just in behind as we enter S's. Very pivotal section. Jack Clark a little bit loose on the entrance there. Gives up a little bit of time to Kledzik, but it's 3 and 4. We've got Maverick McKenna coming into the picture now. A GTP driver just being a little bit patient. He's going to try to go up the inside and make the pass here. Will this affect any of the lines? He swerves through. Makes a move at the last second to pass Luke Kledzik, and he goes up on the inside here on Jack Clark. Unbelievable through 7 and 8. He has plenty of room, but it's the battle here between Jack Clark, Kledzik, and Allen. Kledzik gets a great run on Jack Clark here. He comes up on his right quarter panel. Are they going to go side by side? There's a little bit of a side draft here as Corey Allen's just sitting in this dirty air. Kledzik is going to have the outside line, though. Will Clark take the brakes deep, or will he give the position up? He brakes early and gives the position up cleanly to Kledzik. Files right in between. Now Corey Allen applying a bit of pressure here as we're on board with Jack Clark as we go over turn 11, a very blind corner, and down the hill into turn 12. Basically in a full-on corner. You want to hit this at full speed, but it looks like Kledzik's going to, Allen's going to go up the inside here on Clark, but he doesn't. He decides to stay out. Battle another day as we go uphill through turn 1, turn 2, and 3 into the S's. A very tricky section. We've talked about this already, Cody, about how smooth you have to be with that weight transfer. And this downhill right here that they've just gone through, a little bit blind here. And with no lights in that corner, a very tricky one to take, Cody.
Yeah, the corner they just came out of there has like been the worst corner. I think we've seen multiple retirements just through that one corner. There's great racing here by these GT3 drivers. Because we have almost a little bit of a battle up ahead of the road a little bit. Edgar Ruiz and Nick Johnson, and then Victor Valley is just a hair behind them. So we're starting to get a decent, like, kind of battle down the back straightaway here of like everyone almost. P4 to Johnson this battle.
Flashes the lights a little bit here on Edgar Ruiz. You have to wonder if he's being held up, although the gap sitting at about 5 seconds. Victor Valley right in tow just in case something happens, but it's a lineup. Ethan Halsey, Luke Kledzik, Jay Clark off the track a little bit, gives up some time, and that's actually 2 GTP drivers as Colazzo and Boisvert, as Colazzo is actually bringing it to Boisvert here on the top. I didn't even notice this happen, but this gap is bridged incredibly Last time we looked a few minutes ago, it was 8 seconds. I don't know where this 12 seconds came from, but now Colazzo's on the outside and he's looking on the inside of Boisvert. Boisvert's going to have a great entry on the inside here as he files in behind. Colazzo is just taking his time. We're coming up on just a little bit of traffic here as Ethan Halsey's just ahead. They go up the inside. Colazzo is looking for something here ahead of Boisvert as we're very late in the race, only 9 laps to go, and Colazzo is just, oh, he goes up he's trying for the inside here, Cody, but he doesn't make anything happen. Little bit behind as we come up the lap traffic again. I'm looking at my trap map, and there are GT3 cars everywhere, Cody, as the battle fizzles out just a little bit, half a tenth. So we come in through 10A and 10B. More GT3 cars up on the inside. This is sure to make an issue for Colazzo, and it does. And that is Edgar Ruiz just gets in the way a little bit. Colazzo has to go up the inside and cut out in front through turn 12 here. A great run on Boisvert. Boisvert goes up into the inside almost to signal he's taking a defensive line, but we're going to have Deegan or Keaties here on the inside. They get through no problem, go through the S's here, and the gap is bridged again to 3/10. Colazzo a little bit loose on the exit there as we run through S's. Downhill, blind corner. This is a very tricky section of the course. Both of these drivers using up all of the course. Colazzo a little bit more than Boisvert as we run through 7 and 8. A slow corner that runs into an even slower corner. It's gonna be about the runoff, and Colazzo. Oh, Boisvert a little bit loose. Doesn't give up much time to Boisvert though, Cody, as we run on board with Colazzo flashing his lights now. He must be trying to get into his head because he does not have the run here. They go on the outside of a GT3 car through 10A and 10B, a section I would not want to be in the traffic. Oh, and Boisvert a little bit loose, gives up some time to Colazzo, and Colazzo's right on the rear. He goes to the inside. He comes over the corner panel, and he's making the move. It's side by side. He's going to have some GTP traffic, and there's some contact. We go through turn 1. Boisvert gives up some time to Colazzo, but Colazzo has to check him hard is that Dilts? Oh, it's Nick Vincent now. As Boisvert runs off the track, he's going to take a slowdown for sure. Colazzo checks up on, oh my gosh, Vincent. This is unbelievable. Colazzo giving up a lot of time now. This traffic is proving to be an incredible equalizer here tonight, Cody. As Nick Vincent, I'm sure he doesn't like this. This must be very, very pressuring. Boisvert just taking his time now. He doesn't have the run. I think he's going to get into traffic. Gap drops to about a second, Cody, and this has to be the most exciting part of the race now as we run into 32 laps out of about 39. We've got just about 7 or 8 to go, and this is just getting crazy, Cody.
We got a little bit of clean track here now as they're getting around their teammate of Parker Dime. So a little bit of a clean track. That's what they like to see. They are sliding all over the place. I think they have melted their tires off.
They must have. They must have. I'm watching Dylan Gonas now, and he's passing some GTP traffic here through the S's, and he's absolutely wild as I'm watching Louis Ortiz go off the track and basically hold up Chris Wilkie and Fozzie Fazzillo there as well. GTP driver taking the outside, but a little bit of a mistake from Louis Ortiz. Gives up that position there, and that is 16th overall 11 in classes. We have, there's some contact with McKenna on the inside there. Little bit of contact. McKenna gets up on the inside. I don't think Louis Ortiz knew he was there. Maverick McKenna came in super hot, trying to make up a lot of ground here on Dylan Gonas. He's just a few seconds behind as the battles in GTP have very much fizzled out. Traffic taking its toll here. We're gonna jump on here with Omar Acevedo and Lucas Kasumi. They are side by side here going into 10A and 10B. Who's going to give up the position?
Jordan Boisvert is destroyed.
No, Boisvert is off. Oh, that's our Boisvert, and he's out of the session entirely. We're on blimp cams because he is gone from the session. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it, Brian. Let's go back for a replay real quick if you've got it. Whoop. Look at that. Backwards going. Let's see what we have. An absolute crazy development here as we catch up to it here a little bit.
It is
Boisvert just a little bit of a cut.
Turn 6, the calamity corner of the night.
And it's
As we're kind
six,
of
we're
round in
coming
turn
through
1
turn
here
one.
for him. Yeah, so at the end of the S's here, we're like, I swear everyone that has retired out of this corner. Right here.
We're getting there. Right there. Ouch! As the full bumper off. Looks like a weight transfer issue. Gets spun around. Slams it into the wall. Bumper gone. He tries his best to get off the track and out of the way. And then retires for the night. That gives up our lead to Hector Colazzo. The gap now to Colazzo, or sorry, to Gonas in second, sitting at 45 seconds, Cody. So Hector Colazzo really just needs to take a deep breath, have a calm ending to this race, and he's got it in the bag as he comes up to some crazy traffic. We're looking side by side here. It looks like Louis Ortiz made a side-by-side pass over Seymour. Hector Colazzo will file through traffic here, sitting behind Chris Wilkie, just being a little patient through S's. Will make his move.
As we got our
Valley looking to make a move on Nick Johnson here in 10A and 10B. That's who we're on right now. We go over this blind crest of 11. The final corner. This one's so tricky, Cody. I had a hard time. I mean, it's the last corner of the track when you're practicing, so it takes you a little bit of time to get there when you're rounding things up, but just a blind corner, very difficult. You really need to pick your marker perfectly. This battle fizzling out just a little bit. Nick Johnson taking a slight gap on Victor Valley. Our best battle right now, maybe for 11th. It looks like Corey Allen. No, Corey Allen checks up hard on Luke. Oh, sorry, this is lap traffic again. Jeffrey Seymour. Jeffrey Seymour is almost catching up to Corey Allen and Louis Ortiz here as lap traffic. Sorry, he jumps off. Jeffrey Seymour jumps off into the pits to really just make this anticlimactic and fizzle that little battle out. Not what you want to see. I don't know about you, Cody, but I really don't like being a lapped car down and then finding myself against some people that I've got some pace on. It's a very it's not embarrassing, but it's just it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As kind of looking back to Victor, he's able to catch up. Oh, makes a dive down turn 10, makes the pass. Ooh,
makes the move in today.
And makes it go.
A commanding
off
move.
11 spots from the start of the race here.
Unbelievable. And we come in to some more traffic here as it looks like who we have that they just passed. It's Deacon Rakides here having a little bit of a struggle tonight, but we've got some GTP traffic. There's a little bit of contact with Victor as it looks like Fosse's going to try to go on the outside. He makes that move. Victor just checks off, but he gives up a ton of room to Nick Johnson here. I don't know. I would have given up that time in a heartbeat to get out of that GTP traffic, but the timing, not very good for Victor because now Nick Johnson sees an opportunity and Deegan, who is really just has been sitting there. He's really just trying to get by, and he's a lap down. We've talked about this just a second ago about how awkward this is. Now Deegan has found himself in a place where he might be a little bit quicker than Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson in a little bit of an issue earlier tonight, might be facing a little bit of damage, so you could see some aero problems. Maybe Deegan's just getting the run because of that, so I don't like that at all. I don't like having a run and having to battle somebody or feeling the need to battle somebody who's a lap ahead of me as we to get a great little train here. Nick Johnson making a charge on Victor Valley, but not able to. These few just checking out. As ahead of them, we have Nick Vincent and Edgar Ruiz, but Nick Vincent a lap down as well. So the car ahead of Victor in the moment, Cody, is another lap down. So he's got to get past. He has to get past Nick Vincent here if he wants to have a charge at Edgar Ruiz.
As time flies when we're having fun, we just hit the white flag lap as
wow.
Hector Colazzo just took the white. As then Dilt is going down the back straightaway, so he'll be getting the white here shortly.
So really pushing this car for someone who's 46 seconds the lead.
In a heavy GT3 traffic right now.
Yeah, heavy. You're right. As Deegan Rakides this battle we've actually been following up until this point. Nick Johnson, Victor Valley, and Nick Vincent. Nick Vincent! I don't know if it's a slowdown or an issue, but we're watching Colazzo pass all of these guys on the grass again as Colazzo, just like a mola. Wow, what a move. He has to go off the track again to keep his lead. And he makes it work. Not a problem at all. Plenty of straightaway as Victor Valley on the inside having to play defense against Nick Johnson just behind. This is an incredible little battle here in GT3. Victor Valley holds the position. He's holding 5th now against Nick Johnson as this battle very spicy with Deegan still just there as Colazzo.
As that should be the finish there.
That's the finish. Colazzo is our winner this evening as Dylan Gonas several seconds behind. Just rounding out. Hector Colazzo, just honestly a commanding and a dominating victory. Dilt as Dylan Gonas looks to be holding our 2nd position here. Anything can happen in these S's. I'm really trying to hold my breath here before I start calling out. But Dylan Gonas rounding the final corner for 2nd place. Maverick McKenna coming over in turn 11. He's having a little bit, Maverick McKenna has to pit! As Fozzie Fazzillo comes over, is this 3rd or is he coming 4th? Does Maverick finish 3rd in the pits? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great little race. Austin Diltz takes our 1st position in GT3 with a commanding win over Parker Dime. 12 seconds. Followed by Rob Ferretti, a name I don't think I've seen yet. I'll have to go back and check. Maybe I'm just mistaken, but Rob Ferretti taking our 3rd position today. Fantastic performance. Victor Valley in 4th. What a performance. What a performance by a driver who I know I spoke with earlier. Wasn't super confident today. About 50-50 on showing up. Felt pretty good. Great performance by Victor Valley. And the rest of our field, starting from 5th, Nick Johnson, Ethan Halsey, Luke Kludzik, Jack Clark, Chris Wiltsey, Corey Allen, Louis Ortiz, Edgar Ruiz, Omar Acevedo, Lucas Kasumi, Jordan Martin Bover, Deegan Urquides, Nick Vincent, Wanchi Rakenna, Dan Carrito, Mitchell Dreyer, Yoon Gonzalez, Donnie Heineman, Jeffrey Seymour, Justin Gibbs, Morgan Smith, Dylan Clark, Jay Smart, Robert Hadley, Trevor Vavrovsky, Tyler Rush, Sean Lanning, and Robbie Kirtley. Several of those drivers not making it through the night, but very almost expected at a night race like this, wouldn't you think, Cody?
Yeah, at first we were looking pretty good, and then just kind of over time we ended up losing a handful of cars. But yeah, night racing is super tricky, especially on a track like this with all the blind corners and elevation changes, and then just the multi-class of the speed differential. Thankfully, we didn't see too many incidents with the whole mixed class thing, but yeah, turn 6 was just calamity corner tonight, which honestly, even in the daytime, is fairly tricky with the weight transfer and then pretty much the fast line's jumping up on that curb, and that curb is pretty rough, so hitting it wrong will just turn you. So definitely a rough night for some of the drivers, not what they were expecting, but us and Dilt, our first 2-time winner in GT3, so congratulations to him.
Fantastic. And we will pull Austin Diltz in here with us. Austin, do you have us?
Yep, I have you guys.
All right, our GT3 winner tonight. It was not without a little bit of drama and a bit of position changes, but walk me through that race and a fantastic 12-second win tonight.
Yeah, I was super lucky. I know you guys saw qualifying to eke out that pole, and I kind of put myself into trouble there by getting off the road, going too fast into the corner, coming up the hill, and I let Trevor and Jay go. And to be honest, if Jay didn't get into trouble tonight, he was the fastest guy out there. He was going to be tough to catch back up to. So I think I lucked out with everyone else running into trouble, and I kind of just squeaked through.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. How did you find the night racing tonight?
Oh, the night racing, it was a lot of fun. Definitely a little bit scary when the GTP cars are coming up on you and all you see is those headlights coming at you at Mach 10. But
that's awesome.
I think a lot of
That's
the GTP
awesome.
guys were keeping their head on their shoulders tonight. It got a little bit crazy
That-
at some points, but
Yeah, I think overall it was pretty good, especially over other tracks. But a great race tonight overall, overcoming adversity and really just surviving. Who would you like to thank tonight?
yeah, I'd like to thank all the WBM guys. Great group of guys. Got a couple new guys in this week. Welcome. I'd like to thank my fiance. Gives me the time to do this thing I call sim racing that I love. And thanks to my dad for watching, and thanks for you guys putting on such a professional broadcast.
Austin Diltz with another solid win tonight, and bask in this one, my friend, and have a great one. We'll see you next week at Le Mans.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. Have a good one.
All right, we'll take in Hector Colazzo now. Hector, do you have us?
Huh?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hey, fantastic win tonight. It seems like you were almost gifted it. Boisvert got into a bit of an issues. Was traffic as a big of an issue tonight as we thought it was?
Yeah, it was a huge issue. Jordan got absolutely destroyed from all that traffic, so that's basically how I caught up to him. And yeah, I feel bad for him. I don't know what happened to him when I was leading, and then he just disconnected. Did you guys see what happened at all?
Yeah, we did get a replay. He hit the wall a little bit, but just an unfortunate scenario. It did look like you guys had a lot of trouble tonight. Just managing the traffic. The traffic was so spread out. Our track map was filled with dots all night, but a fantastic victory nonetheless. Who would you like to thank tonight, Hector?
I like to thank some GT drivers. I forgot their names, but they got out the way from me when I was trying to catch up to Jordan. So shout out to those guys. And yeah, thanks for the tires not dying on that finishing sim.
And catch up to Jordan you did. We almost missed we missed it really how fast you caught up to him. Just a fantastic race all around. And thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night.
And you as well. Oh, Cody, that was unbelievable. We'll go over some quick programming notes here. TWRsetups.com, NASA Rallycross Lights round 4. Sorry, 5. Is it 5? I need to double check that. It's probably 5. Round 5 at Atlanta is 9 p.m. Eastern. You get Victor Valley, James Watson, and Jared Lott for that one. Those lights are a blast to watch. You will not want to miss that. Atlanta is a fantastic track. And the following night on Monday, Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge Round 5, also at Atlanta, will be April 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, Josh Mertz, and myself, Justin Robichaud, for that one. Always a great time. The best drivers in Rallycross will take to it. And next week, OSRL GT Round 7, April 18th, Le Mans, 8:30 Eastern. You'll have Bryan Sawyer, Cody Erdmann, and Josh Mertz for that one. I will likely be in the car. This will be a fantastic race. You will not want to miss it. And if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network and follow our content on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. And don't forget, our cameras for tonight's broadcast were brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. For more info, visit facebook.com/Whiplash Media. Probably some of the best cams we've had the pleasure of using. Thank you, Andrew, for all of your support. And our coverage for OSRL very quickly is always brought to you by NordVPN for 67% off a 2-year plan with 3 months for free. Visit nordvpn.com/ASN TV USA. Cody, it's been an incredible evening tonight. I knew the racing was going to be phenomenal when I set foot on this track at night. The blind corners were almost were very thrilling. They were almost appalling, really. I knew battling other drivers was going to be incredible. What were your thoughts tonight? Just give me your final thoughts.
Definitely a really good race. And a lot more calamity of like just self-induced mistakes. Nothing I was expecting with the whole night thing, like missing corners or stuff like that. It just seemed like the nature of the track was almost more of the issue. So, and then just adding the nighttime and hard to see just gave it a little extra spice to it. So, but really good race overall. Good battles between GTP and GT3. We saw a number of lead changes in GT3. So, really loving that. And like I said, Austin Dilt's our first time repeat pole sitter and winner. And then Hector, with Lincoln not being here, Hector was able to take the win. And I picked Gonaz to win. He kind of had a rough way to get to P2, but he was still able to get there. So good points night for him. Maybe he can try to reel in Lincoln there when Lincoln comes back next week. And yeah, definitely looking forward to Le Mans, as we're adding 15 minutes. It's our endurance race of the season. So we're gonna add a little bit of time to it.
15 minutes, and I hear the weather forecast is not looking super great for that race next week. We'll see what happens. It's a long ways away, but this night was fantastic. I just want to reiterate what you said, and these drivers were battling all night, but the checker flag falls in the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Josh Mertz, Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Jared Lott, Chad Erdmann, Philip Kraus, Cody Erdmann, and James Watson, Bryan Sawyer, my name is Justin Robichaud. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of OSRL GT Series tonight from Road Atlanta. We congratulate our GTP winner, Hector Colazzo, on a fantastic win tonight, and our GT3 Series winner, Austin Diltz, on a fantastic performance. Be sure to join us on Sunday in Atlanta for NASA Rallycross Lights. Until then, so long, everyone.